The Swedish Organizational Culture Group is very active, and we have this wonderful and interesting session, hopefully full of very many insights for everyone. And as I already mentioned the technicalities, so I can repeat them once again. Please switch off your cameras when we start the official part, and then in the discussion part we will be able to join in and talk together and ask questions. And throughout the session you're very welcome to use the chat forum and pose any questions to all of the eminent guests that we have today. I would like to present the moderator, Božena Petekonis-Šabanienė, Head of Manpower, Lithuania, Latvia, also innovative CEO. I really like this wording of her abilities that she has on her LinkedIn page. So Božena will take on from here and will present all of our speakers today. So enjoy the session and talk very soon.
Hello, everyone. I will try today to be not very formal, because we wanted to keep this informal, semi-informal experience sharing mode. But I would like to start with greeting our main guests today here. And the fact that we are joined by almost 20 people today shows that our small committee and topic of organizational culture is really interesting for the wider society. So thank you very much for joining this discussion, and I hope that next times we will have even much more people who are interested in organizational culture and values. And today we have three main panelists. Let me greet three professionals, leaders who are working for Swedish organizations. And please meet Eglė Povilienė, the Head of Operations and HR at NewSec. Hello, Eglė. Second, our panelist is Nicholas Rosenberg-Schär, Managing Director at Volvo Group Lietuva. And third, our guest is Veslava Ganauskienė, Senior Business Developer at Nordea, currently working from Stockholm office. And dear guests, I would like to start actually from short introduction from each of you. Just telling in some sentences where are you coming from, what is your experience of Swedish organizational culture, of working in this culture context. Please just take a mic.
Ladies first.
Okay, so maybe I would start, and hello to everyone once again, and nice to see you all interested in this topic. It is really very important for all of us, daily working with people, and we are people as well, and we have expectations as well daily. So as Božena already mentioned, I'm Eglė. I'm from company NewSec, and my experience is already 14 years working in Swedish culture, almost 14 years. The company was started in 2003, but Sweden company NewSec joined the Lithuanian company as a shareholder in 2009. And since then, we are working together with our colleagues, Scandinavian colleagues, I would say, not only Swedish, but this is the mainly part, the biggest part of the company in Sweden. But we have other colleagues in Denmark, in Finland, in Norway, and in Sweden, and we represent Baltics. So just shortly.
Thank you, Eglė.
Thank you, Božena. Hello to everyone. It's nice to be here with you today. I'm working in banking sector more than 15 years. 11 years I learned and grew in SEB, and after that it was 1 year in Nordea Lithuania, and it was maybe even less than 1 year, and now it's already 4 years in Nordea Sweden. Due to the fact that Nordea was selling Baltic business to outside or separating that from the Nordic business, and I was involved in the international projects, I received an offer to relocate with my activities or international projects to one of the Nordic countries. And the interesting part was that I received an offer to decide which country I'm choosing, one of the 4 Nordic countries. Therefore, I think that is the nice intro to our topic for today, because when I was asking where you need me more, the answer was that you should decide yourself, that it doesn't mean and it doesn't matter for us which country you're choosing. It should first fit your family and yourself. Or it's my journey in the Nordics. Yeah, maybe just that I'm working with product development and business development, and it's really interesting part for me.
All right. And I will continue. My name is Nicholas, as already said. I am born actually in Denmark and grown up there and studied there. So I am a Danish citizen. After I finished my engineering school, I was working 3 years in hydroaluminium in a Norwegian company. And the last 20 years, actually December this year, I'll have 20 years anniversary in the Volvo Group. But I have worked in Romania, Belarus, Austria, Germany, Munich in Germany, more specific, and now also since beginning of last year in Lithuania. So I have a little bit cultural background for different part of Europe, but as I started with mainly from the Nordic countries. So excuse me when I'm talking about Swedish culture. It's based on my 20 years in Volvo Group, and Volvo Group is not the whole Sweden, it's just a part of it. What I'm mentioning is seen from our perspective and how we are working with the Swedish culture, but of course also with my Nordic background. Yeah, I think that's it. I hope Volvo trucks, Volvo buses, Volvo construction equipment, Volvo financing, what I'm responsible for, I don't need to introduce the product so much. If you want to hear more about trucks, then just contact me. I will happily talk about that. But let's today talk about culture.
I knew that each of you has a really huge experience in what you do and with Swedish culture, but I even didn't realize how long in years is that experience. So now I'm more than confident that you can share your insights. What do you think attributes are the most common or the most important in working environment for employees, for teams, for people?
Lady first. I could start. I think that the main difference for me, how I treat that, how I accept that, it's respect and trust for each employee. Diversity from the gender, age, ethnicity, sexual, doesn't matter, but it's really important, and it's something what is a big advantage for the Scandinavian companies. I would also say that tolerance and that employees' rights are not on paper, but in Nordics we have very strong unions, and each person is very well protected by their rights, and that everything is covered by the book, and in the real life you're using that only when something bad is happening, but everybody knows that if something will happen, that will work properly. That's maybe first what I would mention. Second, I would mention flat organization, and flat organization, it's how to show that what is the flat organization. I think that in each country we have the tendency that we are naming that as a flat organization. When I joined Nordea 5 years ago, I had 2 titles, one Nordic and one suitable for Lithuania. As example, my Nordic title was business developer, and my Lithuanian title was head for cash management products and development. And the difference was that if anybody in Lithuania would publish ad for business developer, you will not have a senior person applying for that position. That in Lithuania, still the title means a lot. In the Nordics, you could have maybe 4 levels of titles, and that is enough. That it's one of the cultural differences we have here and in Baltics. What is very important, it's hearing different opinions, and it doesn't mean which is more correct, but to allow to hear each person in the meeting. And this diversity of the opinions, just to hear from the same question from different angles, that each person has space to have his own opinion, even if we are as a group deciding that we are not going that direction. That's something I'm really appreciating that, and I think that it's additional advantage for us. You will agree with me most probably that work and life balance, that it's a healthy approach, that what we are doing during the day, it's important and we are trying to do as much as possible. But after the work, it's very important that each of us would have additional activities, hobbies, family, and have rest to ensure that that when you're coming back next day, you're recovered and you're able to do new nice things. I really appreciate that, and I would put that as attributes of Swedish culture at work.
Yeah.
Egle, Nicholas, do you agree?
Yes, I fully agree. And Veslava mentioned a lot of things, same we have, and we follow, but just maybe the difference between our companies that we are not so much integrated. Our Newsec Baltic, we have our colleagues across other countries, but we are not so much integrated daily. Maybe on the strategical level, on the service strategical level, yes, we do collaborate a lot, but daily wise, we do not feel so much. We do not have next to us our Swedish colleagues or Danish colleagues. Only time after time we meet in common meetings, but all the things Veslava mentioned, I fully agree that are very important. And first of all, I would stress the thing, trust. Feel that people feel daily, not during only company celebrations or things like that, but daily, the trust and they work for. And the structure of the company, we are also very flat structure, and all the managers, the shareholders, even in our case, they are in daily business and they are very easily approachable for everyone. You do not need to make special appointments or something, or wait for special occasions to meet the manager or the shareholder. You can do it every day. But of course, you should consider the calendar of him or her. So this is very important, and for me or for my colleagues, I believe for today is as a natural thing, and this is nothing exceptional for us. This feeling of trust, and this is very important. Of course, nevertheless, is important the life and work balance, or work and life balance, and. Of course, we encourage a lot people, don't forget it. And one of the things we are following the balance of vacation days. And we remind them, you don't have to save them for better times. Just do it, because if you are tired, if you are not in the good mood, you cannot perform, you cannot communicate in the good mood. And to create this good atmosphere, what is very, very important to deliver the good results for colleagues and for clients as well.
Yeah. It's going to be difficult to add something here. I have also a long list, and you have mentioned a lot of what we also working with in the Volvo Group. Maybe one point we didn't touch before that. We have the same here. My door is right now closed, but if it's open, everyone can turn in. They don't need an appointment. They don't need anything. If they have a question or just an opinion, I think it's also typical Nordic organization structure that the MD or the manager for a division, their door is open, and there is a reason for that. But also about, at least it's something that we are working a lot with, is the customer experience. I think Nordic countries and especially Sweden have a long good experience, and our region in the Swedish heavy industry have learned us during many years to have the premium customer experience. Also, the way you are explaining how we talk with colleagues, that's also the way we are talking with customers. Open, transparent, try to find out what can I do for our customers. How can I give them success? Things like that. That is at least something standing in our books. Else we have, as you already mentioned, people are in center, employees, customers, as I mentioned. And then also another thing that was not mentioned, the drive for a greener society, that we are taking care of the nature, that we are thinking green, and we want to be the leader in the solutions that we have right now. For our point of view, we have the full range of trucks and buses. We can offer electrical solution, fully electrical. Nobody else can do that except Nordic suppliers, just as one example. So also the green footprints, I think, is very important. And then teamwork, shared successes is double success, is what we are saying. And then have fun at work. Have the coffee break where you are chit-chatting a little bit. Make a good atmosphere at work, because then when you come back to your table, then we as leaders also think that people with positive mindset and fun behind them, they will love their job. They will do the next effort and don't count if they have to be 15 minutes extra at work. So yeah, as I think we have touched a lot of things.
And these are really great aspects of really working environment. And even I would say that this environmental CSR part, what we see on the labor market, is more and more important for candidates, actually. So it really works. But may I ask you to give me some examples, at least one, but very particular. What do you do in keeping these attributes, in keeping these promises to the employees? So maybe some examples of how you encourage work and balance. Egle already shared a bit about pushing people to take holidays. Good example, good initiative. But maybe some tips and tricks on this celebration part and teamwork part. How do you keep it and encourage?
This is very, very important, especially today when we are working remotely. So because these coffee breaks or chats, they were so easy to do some time ago. So I would say more than a year ago. So more than a year we are not more in the office. And of course, this was the challenge for all managers and for all team members to find other possibilities, other tools, other ways how to communicate, how to find, how to build, or to continuously to keep this trust or enjoy working together or even celebrating together. And of course, it came not on the first day. We developed, we talked what we would like to do, how we can do it in the safe way. But now it seems that we found a lot of possibilities to enjoy each other in bigger or even in smaller teams. So we do have a very good experience attending or participating in quiz challenges. So we cook together dinners. So, okay, we have, of course, the main cook. Is it the Vytaras Radzevičius or others? But it is really fun. And so remotely we do have a common dinner. And then we can discuss and we can talk about the free time, about our hobbies and etc. So we do discuss what books we read. We make recommendations, and we get know better even our colleagues as we did it before, because we have we have a little bit time more to get know what they do or what they would recommend to do for us, for colleagues. We share these things.
Okay. I could continue. Maybe first starting from regarding encouragement and the work and life balance. I have tendency to work a lot, and the Swedish culture or corporate culture is amazing for me because it's keeping me healthy, and I'm receiving a reminder from my manager that it's enough, you should also rest. And I'm working a lot, not because I want to work a lot, I'm just enjoying what I'm doing. And it's good to have sometimes reminder that you will be able to do that next time or tomorrow. Therefore, I really appreciate that because it's the healthy trigger which helps me to be healthy. I'm working in the team, or I have my team. That my team is spread across the Nordics and plus Poland. Therefore, I have people from Finland, from Denmark, from Sweden, and part of them development team is in Poland. It's amazing when values are working and when person needed due to the personal reasons in the family to be on the sick leave for several months, that it was not a question. That the first time when he asked what she should do, he received an answer that family is first. Please go take care for your family, and when everything will be okay, please come back. And it doesn't matter if it's 1 day, 1 week, or 1 month, or 1 year. I think that it's very important from the value perspective to have that possibility and know that if something bad happened, I should care now only about my family. Nothing else is important. That priorities are really important. From how we are keeping us digitally or online more engaged. We have a Fika. I am inviting people for Fika with my current team and my previous team, just to have that one time per month or per several weeks, to have ability to informal conversation. How are you doing?
Do everyone here know what Fika is?
It's informal meeting where you're able to have conversation about any topic possible, but just to keep that informal and more about people than the content itself. It's and definitely it's Swedish coffee, strong black, and kanelbulle or semla. That would be appreciated.
Cinnamon buns for me sounds
yes.
like.
Yeah, kanelbulle is cinnamon bun. We had now introduced 1 time per month. We have after work drinks at 4 o'clock. It's still working time, and we are doing that consciously. That we are doing the after work drinks where we have informal communication or conversation about everything what's happening on each person or family side. Who is buying apartment, who is planning trip, and etc. etc. What else I mentioned? Mark for myself. We introduced on Teams channel, we introduced 1 channel, Coffee Corner, where we are sharing pictures from our hobbies, activities, or after weekend. It's bringing you some connection to the person who is doing gardening, who is doing hiking. It's nice to have that connection, that it's not only about work. At work, we are spending majority of the time, our conscious time, daily. And it's important that you feel comfortable and you know each other, that it's more than just architect or developer or the business developer. Yeah, therefore it's these informal things. The same on the channel, we are sharing a recommendation for the movies or for the books. Therefore it's something to keep people engaged or to be real yourself. Thank you.
It sounds like people started to read more during lockdowns because we have already 2 corners of readers here. Nicholas, what is going on in Volvo?
Yeah, I can underline that what is said is also what we are doing, that we have small groups in the company. We have even Facebook groups where people are communicating about private things. I'm not a part of every group, I have to admit, and maybe they don't want me to be part of it, but it's good to have those groups. It's good to know that they have those social meetings besides normal meetings we have, and we have also weekly and daily meetings to gather up and make sure that we know what's going on now with the distance. We are all working with distance. Another thing I think is health and safety. I guess most of you know that Volvo is the same as safety, but health and safety is also very important for us. And here we also go in really and analyzing if something is close to happen in our workshops. We are going in and having a dialogue with the guys, girls in the workshop and saying what could we do to avoid that in the future. We are putting up in our daily meeting reminders what to do and remind us about talking about if there was any accidents. And since the last years, due to that, we have those daily meetings with daily talks about safety and health and safety, as we're calling it. Yeah, we see that the accidents we're having have dropped significantly. And in 1 year now, we have out of 110 employees, we have had 1 small accident, and that was a guy that forgot his security glasses that we actually have. And then we talked about how can we remind each other to remember to use the equipment that you shall use. So this is again, I think, related to our culture. Talk about the things in a team, take responsibility for each other. It's not only about the manager that shall go around and check everyone. It's also that you check your colleagues and you are helping each other. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for sharing. We were mostly talking now about employees, so people who already know what is Swedish organizational culture about. But if we think about candidates who just have this vision of something great because it is Scandinavian culture, but do you see any kind of tendencies or trends? What is valued by candidates? What they find as really attracting to join employer who is Swedish company?
Yeah, I can start this time because I think there's 2 aspects in it. One is also from our side to tell the employee or the candidate what they can expect, because not all people, they want to work in that culture, but we of course want to have people that appreciate the way of working. So it's also on the other side important to tell the candidates about our culture and how we are working. And specific, one thing I'm always, when I talk to managers, mentioning is that don't expect that I come as your manager with all solutions. Don't expect that I am following and telling you everything you should do. If you have anything, the door is open, but you have to be the one that is driving it. I have the trust in you. I have, but you also have the empowerment. But we also expect that you take actions yourself. And not all people, especially if you come for the completely opposite, and I have seen that not in Lithuania but also in other countries, they cannot handle that way of working, because they are used to that the boss is telling what to do and then I do it and then I ask what to do else afterwards. So that I think is important, but I will also say that many people appreciate finally that, but it is for some people a change in way of working. And some managers have also difficulties in working like that, because they're suddenly seen as a weak person, the one that don't know anything, or the one that is not showing that I know what to do. Maybe you as a manager know it, but you're giving your employees the freedom to develop solutions themselves, and by that being innovative and so on. So it has ups and downs. And sometimes you, of course, also need to be the boss if it's needed. But that's not what is coming in first place. So that is something I'm spending time on with my candidates.
Thank you, Nicholas. I think that I really would repeat the same, that I appreciate that a manager in Nordics has a courage to say that I don't know. And that the position is that let's talk and put all the pro and cons and decide together what is the best in our situation, but that it's not the manager is deciding. I'm hiring constantly people, and they are moving across the organization. I really, what I hear, what candidates appreciate, they appreciate stability. I think that it's something common for Nordic companies. That it's stable, but stable in the good way, that it's not today it's here and tomorrow maybe somebody will not pay salary for you, that they are avoiding that situation, even if the salary is not the biggest, but they appreciate stability and that it's the good name or reputation. Really, they appreciate good reputation. Definitely work and life balance and additional package what is bringing the Scandinavian company. It could be a private insurance, additional insurance. It could be some additional longer vacation during the year. The whole package what you're receiving, and after that definitely it's the respect and the culture what you will have when you're entering that company, and the atmosphere which is supporting you to grow and do what you want to do. Thank you.
Yes, unmute. So thank you. And I agree with Veslava and Nicholas as well, and only can add a couple of things. We call it passion for colleagues and clients. And this is not only the value what we are following, but this feeling, again, the feeling, be passionate about what you do. And very important is to get known from the candidates what important for them is. Is that the package? Is that the financial part? Is that the content, what they will do? Are they ready to be excellent in his or her field when they start the position? This is very important, because the excellence, be excellent in your position, is very important for our company. This professional attitude towards the colleagues, firstly, and the clients, secondly, is very, very important. And I maybe shortly should mention that 9 years in a row we do the survey for employees, and this is the Great Place to Work, the survey, and they a lot of people, newcomers and our long year colleagues, they say that what they appreciate and what they value, this is this innovation and excellence. And I think this is the things we stress also for our new potential colleagues, which at the moment could be the candidates, that as much as possible they could feel this insights, who we are, how we do work, and what do we expect from our new colleagues.
Thanks a lot. I would like to dig into one of things you have shared. This is that flat structure of the companies, not a lot of hierarchy. On the other hand, are Lithuanian candidates looking for the positions where you cannot make career very quickly, very fast? And how do you balance? How do you explain what they receive in regards to this growth? You know, as Veslava mentioned, she had 2 titles, and one was for Lithuania because you need to have this, you know, special signs and special names every year or so, because otherwise you are kind of stopping. So any thoughts or any advices how you are dealing with this expectation of Lithuanian employees?
Who will start? So, okay,
Probably
I'm
you.
unmuted, maybe me. Yes. And yes, it is very important. And we talk a lot also during interviews about the career, what candidates are expecting, what the career means for them. Is that hierarchy career? Will he or she grow from junior to super manager? Or how do they understand it? Because we, as a flat company, we understand the career as a responsibility, growth of responsibility, deal with more bigger clients, take more responsibility to lead the projects, take responsibility to introduce new idea or to develop the business, even the business line, to come with a new idea and take the responsibility to build up this in the company. This is the way how do we understand the career, and we discuss about it a lot.
I fully agree, and I actually don't see it, seen from my perspective, coming from the Nordic, I don't see less opportunities in a flat hierarchy. Actually, the opposite. I think, and what you just described, then there is a lot of positions where you have different responsibilities, and you can take those responsibilities, but you don't have the title. That's right. And that is what you then need to explain people. But my feeling is when first people are arriving and they're starting to come into that positive spiral, that they are getting more and more responsibility, they love it, they like it, and you have more and more people are coming and asking for more responsibility. And I can also do that task, and can I do that project, and I want to be a part of this, and there I think it's more difficult without having experience myself. If you have a very strict hierarchy, you cannot do those small adjustments and give small responsibilities a project to one in each and another direction in a company. Then they're a little bit more locked. So yeah, it's an understanding of that title is not everything. But then when you work with it, learn and see the benefits of all those small things where you can grow. And in the end, as mentioned, you can get bigger client, you can develop in special projects. We have a lean projects where some are taking leaderships. And yeah, there's a lot of opportunities in a flat organization where we have trust and empowerment, and people out in the front can take responsibility and will also benefit for it, of course.
Thank you, Nicholas. From my own perspective, I think that I needed to learn that, as I was not looking for the position in Nordics, I was just doing the stuff I was enjoying, international projects, and when I received an offer, I even was not so into details regarding salary and how salary could be changed in the future. And the main differences are that it's not only about position, title, it's all about the salary, and that in the Nordics, salaries are not increased yearly by 20–30%, even if you will have more responsibility, even if you will have more projects. That it's the platform for person to grow and try different things. Try what you want to do today the best and do it. You have the average salary suitable for Nordics, and then you're able to grow as personality. You're able to have additional things such as budget for trainings. I had for learning Swedish. I was able to attend conference, but I was not able to increase my salary I received in the beginning, except this yearly increase, very symbolical percentage. That was in the beginning something I needed to learn, because I was grow in Lithuania in the culture where if you're doing more, you're getting more, and that is very straightforward motivation. And then you're suddenly in the Nordics and you're able to do 2 times, 3 times more, but that is not reflected in the outcome. You need to have more time to change the mindset and find the different motivation. Then you're also able to understand that you are doing a lot, not only because of the reward and salary increase yearly 20–30%. Something else triggers you. And even if you will not have that 20–30% increase, you're still doing a lot and you're receiving fun. Then it's the real question, what is triggering you? Therefore, it's about consciousness of your behavior and knowing yourself better. When you don't have external triggers, that's a magic. It's definitely for people to understand and to learn that. Because you're able to see that in Nordics, not a lot of people want to be managers, because you're receiving a lot of duties, liabilities for others. How to motivate people where you don't have the salary motivation? How to be a good leader for them, and how to deliver value, be a team player and a manager leader. That's different questions which are maybe approached differently in Lithuania, as example.
I think that we just got a topic for separate discussion on challenges of leader in Swedish cultural organization, because this is definitely a niche to dig in for wider discussion. But really, thank you for sharing your insights, because it is a very active and dynamic situation on the labor market at this point in Lithuania. So I believe that all these insights and recommendations are really very valuable for all participating here today. I would like to ask you for experience sharing in tough situations, when you have really some struggles. And I'm definitely talking now about COVID-19. Sorry to get you back there, but I believe that as we already went that path, it is good to share how you dealt with that. What was your communication, actions, behavior toward employees when lockdown started, when pandemic was announced? What did you do?
Yeah, for our point of view, you can split it in two, because we had some workshops and the they have been driving under the whole pandemic, like the hospitals and the supermarkets. So we had to continue. So there it was more a matter of going in and see how can we work in a more safe and secured way. Of course, in the reception area, make some barriers so drivers and truck drivers mainly, customers could not come close to our employees, as you see it in many shops. But also we split up the teams, so it was small teams working together. So if one should get it and start spreading it, we could limit it to few people. So that was that part. For the rest, I think it's more normal, and what you have seen, we send everyone home. So we were working from home, and it was for me amazing, and I didn't believe that would happen. Amazing to see how we could continue working with more or less no drop in efficiency we just found new ways, as we have already discussed, with different meetings and coffee breaks together. Some of you have made food together, and we had a beer tasting session a Friday afternoon before Christmas. Things like that, how people, they just change. And I think also when you're used to having empowerment and trust, and you're used to take decisions yourself, that showed in that situation. It was, at least for us, relatively easy to work from home. And I believe it's a little bit due to our Nordic or Swedish culture. But that was what we did.
Thank you. I could continue. Last year, something about February, we planned to have customer meeting and to have flight only for one customer meeting to Norway. Now I'm saying that with a smile, because during this year I think that we had many customer meetings only online. Work-wise, it's not a big difference, because daily I have split it across Nordics organization and team from 4 different countries, and even had 5 because it was India, and now the person from India, I'm onboarding him to Poland. He decided he chooses that country for one of the 5 countries he was able to choose. He was choosing Poland, and as for now it was 5 countries. Now it will be 4. We work daily online, therefore no big difference from the work-wise. Planning-wise, to have something about 200 people planning 2-3 days online, that maybe was something we needed to adapt, but now after 4 or 5 times, it's already business as usual. Definitely the customer meeting was something as a big change. That moved naturally to the online, to the meetings via Teams, and now it's working smooth. Regarding COVID situation, in the beginning of March, it was first week of March, in the late evening, I received a call from my manager from Denmark. And the content was that the whole organization is moving to online. Please work from your home office. That was the message. And then after that, we had daily check on the team level and weekly on the organization level. How many people do we have with COVID? If something, just to have that barometer and have that communication if anybody needs any help. All employees were supported with the furniture, with the additional monitor at home or a chair at home if you need something to ensure that you're comfortable, that it's comfortable for you to work. From that perspective, it was really a huge support. And in cases when person was not able to work from home, we had several, because it's the person is deciding that it's not a good environment for him, that I prefer to work. It was allowed. And I think that we had 2 or 3 persons working from the office. Nice thing was that it was not only about our work environment and us moving to home office. For everybody, it means that the whole family also moved to the home office, and it was very transparently and open translated or mentioned that guys, I have 2 children, and they have online schooling there. Therefore, if I will have bad connection in the morning, sorry for that. And it was transparently explained the reason behind it. Nobody was trying to pretend that everything is business as usual. I have young developers from Poland, and they joked after 1 year that maybe we'll wait with children, because they had a lot of information regarding the issues with the having troubles to work because the children have online schooling and they need to have some feeding, etc., etc. But it was nice that nobody was pretending that everything is as usual, and everybody had flexibility to adjust. Thank you.
Thank you, Veslava. And of course, we had a lot of challenges as well, because as you mentioned, we moved home in a 1 day, because in the afternoon it was decided that from tomorrow we will start, let's say, we have to work from home. And this was big movement in the office, because we helped our colleagues and moved all the stuff, all the IT stuff, and this was challenge, but also we saw how good. We didn't know it, but afterwards we saw how good prepared we were already for this situation, be able to work from home remotely, and all the systems worked, and almost we didn't mention that we are continuing our works from home, from the IT side, but of course, our business relates a lot from live meetings with the clients. So we are property managers. We work in properties. We are managing big shopping centers, big business centers, and this is not possible to do from home because the systems, they are on the property, and you have to check it, you have to be able to visit it. Of course, a lot of people, they had to rethink or replan all the used tools, how they meet, where they meet, coffees, restaurants, for example, having the lunch with the client wasn't possible. To invite the client into the office and meet him and have a coffee wasn't possible. So a lot of changes had to be done, and that was the challenge, but nothing to do. We all were in that situation. But the next thing, what was the challenging and not so easy maybe, and to adopt, was the communication, internal communication, and that was really the very important thing. And we continuously communicated with our people, and that was a very big task for our managers, for team leaders, to do it, to feel, to have this connection with people, what they are doing, how they are feeling, what they are, how the situation is, not only work-wise, not only talking about the work issues, but also family issues, because we got known all the family members, cats, dogs, children, and etc. So of course, a lot of things were very funny when a cat comes into the screen and participates in the meeting. This was like icebreakers, and sometimes in a very, very difficult situations, but that was the situation, and we looked after our employees, and it helped them because we could follow this mood, how they feel, what they think. Is it the situation okay for them? Can they continue the work from home, or do they really need to come back to office? And are we prepared to give them this possibility? Of course, I'm not talking about all the technical things, how we disinfected the premises, etc. each afternoon, but still we kept it, and our employees, they were able to for very important reason to come to office and to meet in a safe way, let's say, the colleague, or to change the environment at least.
It's really great to hear that all activities mentioned were directed toward employees, because I didn't specify it, which part of crisis management we are discussing, and all of you just demonstrated that Swedish organizational culture, which is first of all about people. Veslava, sorry, you wanted to add something here.
During these COVID times, we had the joke, but already as a rule, that we are not working from home, we are living at work. Now we are living at home, we are at work.
Good one. That's good one. And the main lessons learned, or what will you change in the future, or what will you keep for the future once we are not so much in the crisis times? We hope it is coming with summer, but looking forward.
I think one of the things is that currently we have discussions regarding premises. How much do we need those offices in each Nordic countries? Is it really needed to have the big premises for 4,000 people, as example? Maybe we are able to have shifts. It's still discussion ongoing, but it's something which is happening now to decide, should we have people all time in the office? If it's really makes sense for the person, instead of having commuting 1 hour door to door from home till office, and have that 1 hour for himself for walk. What is the more productive? Definitely we are missing offices and we are missing live communication, but could we have that one week per month? Could we have that 2 weeks per month? That's something as a topic on ongoing discussion to decide and find answer. Definitely that could be different from the organization to organization, but that the experience we had during last year triggers new thinking and reevaluating what was good, what was bad, and what's still valuable to keep. I think that that planning for 3 days in Poland for 150 people would be difficult now to make as an argumentation why we should travel there. For one customer meeting to have travel to Norway, maybe it will be also difficult to make the argumentation. But let's have open-minded thinking and see how that will be concluded.
Egle, you probably can, not only as employer, but as well as an expert in the area of real estate, right, and premises, yes, say us what is going on and what should we do.
So I hear a lot of versions regarding the future of offices and premises. My colleagues are talking a lot about it and discussing it with clients, because we have to understand firstly our clients, what the needs are, and what the trends are, what people think. And a lot of surveys are made right now in companies, and asking people what they would prefer, working from home, partially working from home, week-wise, month-wise, or even this workation, new things came up and seems to be very, very interesting for employer and employees as well. So just the day ago, I talked with my colleague in Sweden, leading the property management service, and I asked also, what do you think? What are you discussing inside? And they don't have one opinion yet. They say we still ask and hear what the opinion is. So I think we need time to find out. Because now people, they may be considering then this is the summer time coming, so maybe they are not so highly interested to be back in the office. But I believe we do need each other. We can't continue sitting in our flats, in our homes with a family and being really same productive as we can be working together with our colleagues. Because video meetings, they are okay, but when we are people, we need this live meetings, we need these interactions, we need the natural, cozy, good environment to exchange the ideas or to find the good decisions, solutions, and even for the clients, not only for us. Of course, the colleagues are the first. If colleagues are happy, so we say the clients probably will happy as well. But still, we do believe offices, we need them. And even if I think, for example, if we do have the family and 2 working people, I doubt that people do have 2 normal, physically healthy working places at home. The one, yes, I agree, but not 2. So, and physically, it's not healthy to be very long work from home.
Agla, with children or without children? That's
okay. Yes.
I cannot.
Sorry?
Sorry. Yes, Nicholas.
I have not
Please.
so much to add, actually, I was going to say. So I just think it, and what we realized and what I have seen from friends, family and so on, it is very important that we also look at the negative part of sitting home. And I have seen people coming back at office here lately, and they was really released that they finally could come to work. Sometimes I even had to say, hey, you cannot all come at once because then it's not over yet. So I don't believe that nobody wants to stay in the position we have today, but it will probably in the future be a little more balanced. As said, biggest part of my employees, they are working in the workshop, standing with a truck, repairing it, so they have to be there. The rest will maybe be a little bit more flexible working conditions, but we will still have offices. We will maybe travel a little bit less abroad, having more video conferences, but again, I also miss to see my colleagues also from other countries live and have a beer in the evening and stay in a hotel and go back next day with new energy. So it will more be a balance, I think.
Thanks for sharing insights for the future. The last question from my side is related to speaking about culture as such, because in our group we had a discussion how much it should be discussed widely, to whom to speak, should we, and so on. What benefits or what risks do you see by talking about values, about culture, promises, maybe making some related to that, both internally in your teams and organizations and externally, meaning how do you see PR or employer branding when talking about company culture? Do you see any benefits? Have you tried?
We have tried a lot, and not only trying, we are living it. Employer branding is very, very important, and we are using our culture. We are together with that. We are an international company, of course. That's also interesting for many, especially in Lithuania. I feel that. So we are talking loud and honest and open about it. This is in general our culture, that we are honest and transparent. I have nothing to hide about our culture and the way we are working. I believe that those that want to work for us and work with that culture that we have, yeah, they will wake up and see there is opportunity there, and that was exactly what I needed. And others, they will say, this is not me, and then we don't waste time on each other. So I think it's important to have that a part of your branding.
Really good points. Thanks, Nicholas. Egle, Vyaslava, something to add?
Thank you. And I agree that this is very important. This is very important, and values are not to be written somewhere. Values are to live with it. And if we are talking about excellence, innovation, and integrity as the values we do, we start from very beginning. We start from recruitment process. We talk a lot during interviews. We check how close or how far we are with the candidate with these values, with the statements. And this is very, very important, as I say, not only the content, what the people are coming to do, but how they understand, how they will feel, how they will fit in the organization. Because sometimes to describe what the culture is quite difficult. You can see it after some weeks, maybe start to feel. But you have to bring and to give the information in the beginning for the candidate to take the right decision, because not only you take the decision, the candidate is doing the one as well. And this is also very important, not to lose the time to make the right choice. And for example, we talk about this, that we accept doing mistakes. For example, we are open to talk about it, and we respect that the ideas, but be sure or don't afraid if all your your idea will be not implemented. Just keep going and believe this is the good thing, and we do appreciate it, and we expect it from you, and acknowledge, and the approach to the result is very different, and people have to understand that of course we should consider the way we are working. For example, if the people are more used to be slower, then of course if all the whole team is very fast in doing the tasks, he will feel not comfortable. But in general, so the main things like values, be very professional, be respectful for all the colleagues, they are very, very important. And we talk a lot. And also this tete-a-tete or the meetings with the managers, meetings among the colleagues, they have a lot of opportunity to talk about this.
Mm-hmm. I could only agree and maybe add some examples. Definitely it's about to live the values, and it's not about the paper, what is declared or the mention on the website. It's about each of us represents company values or ourselves value. It's important to ensure that it's the same values. Daily, when we are talking about culture values, in my team I had at least 5 Japanese, Korean, Pakistan, Finnish, Danish, something about 7 different nationalities in one team, and it was 12% or something. And it's when you have after work beer drinking, you're able to discuss what is the values. We are not feeling that during the day, but in the evening you're able to have the discussion regarding differences and have that in the respectful way, respect each other, and diversity of the age. It's so important that we are making space for different people to be able to be better. Each of us is doing that daily with the communication with the team. If something is good, let's celebrate that. If something is wrong, we are the first people who should have that information to ensure that we are able to solve that and learn the lesson, not punish anybody. It's about the empowered person to do the best what he's able to do and accept that not always is the best outcome, because the circumstances could be changed. And to ensure that the person, he feels trust and he has the mandate to make a mistake. Yeah, but it's first of all, it's starting from ourselves, how we are representing that daily, inside the office and outside of the office. Therefore, I fully agree with you regarding the recruitment process. It's important to check that and have that dialogue in the beginning, starting from the first day.
Thank you. Thank you, all three. And I think now we have some time for the questions or switching on cameras of other participants, because this is where kind of semi-official our part is over. So you are very, very welcome to jump in, comment, share your examples and experiences.
Well,
Please.
Thank you. Before sharing anything, I just wanted to thank and say that I came into insight that I haven't been listening so attentively for more than 1 hour and not doing any emails or anything. It has been so extremely involving, and thank you for creating this atmosphere where nothing else matters, just the speakers and just being in this environment together with you. So thank you for communicating this feeling to us.
Arnas, I think you raised your hand, so you might have a comment, or you would like to ask something. The
as
screen
a
is
pure
yours.
Lithuanian, I would like to also to say thank you very much for the panelists, but I would like to be a little bit provocative on this topic, and as I have also a little bit experience working and little bit knowing the Swedish culture, the question to the panelists, and probably especially for Nicholas and Veslava, as Veslava now is in the Nordics or in Sweden, and Nicholas, he explained that he's Danish, but in Lithuania. I have 2 questions. What are the specific learnings everyone should know about the Swedish culture or Nordic culture, and especially on a decision making? Yeah, so that it's probably there are some specific things to know. And another thing is on a feedback, how the and for Nicholas coming from the Nordic in Lithuania and with his feedback culture, and probably for Veslava, I just share my experience from my kids who went to the Swedish school, and when she came back from the school and you have asked her about what are the things at school, how you feel, she said everything is good because teacher said that you are good, and everything. But then afterwards you're getting report and you're finding that not everything is good as it was told. So about the feedback and the decision making process in a Swedish Nordic culture. Any thoughts and reflections?
I follow your question, and it's not easy to answer, especially not in those 13 minutes we have left. But hopefully soon we can have a beer all together, and then we have more time to discuss things. About decision process, it's very important, and I can reflect on my time in Austria and Germany, where managers is very, very different than me. They are direct, and it's the manager that's saying what to do, and then we're doing it, maybe not full of passion, but we do what he say. Opposite here, we have to, in decision process, in my optimal way, with people I'm used to work with, I used to work in this environment, it's not so complicated. They know why we are sitting and talking about the things. They know that I'm not a weak manager. It's not because I have no experience that I'm asking them. It's because I want them to contribute. But if you don't have that normal culture and you're new in or you want to implement it, it's of course very, very important that you explain now I'm going to change my way of working. Now I'm actually trying to involve you, and I want us to test or do something different, and then explain them what you expect the outcome should be of that way of managing them. Then you can call it what you want, start with a brainstorm, but then it's also important that you learn how to coach people, because as you are saying, when people are saying it's okay, it's not always the truth. And what do I then mean with coaching? And I have used a lot of time in practicing and also getting a lot of lessons in how to coach and cognitive coaching. And there are many different ways of coaching. But the point is that it's important that you are questioning into what is it you like? Why is it okay? And coming in behind the surface of your employees. That takes time, and it takes time to learn it. It takes time to get confidence with each other in that way of working. But yeah, that was the short answer. I know it was not the complete answer. I could ask, what do you all think about it? Maybe we should answer together. Somebody wants to add something?
I could add, thank you, Armas, for a question. I was expecting such question from you. Definitely, I would mention in the beginning that I'm working with Finnish part of my team, Danish part of my team. I have manager from Denmark. I have a high manager from Sweden, and I would also name the differences inside the Nordics from the different Nordic countries. Overall, from the Swedish society and team, I would mention that it's non-conflict avoiding people in the good sense of that meaning. What is the value of having public conflict if you're able to do that in the more smart way? And coming to your part of the question regarding feedback, definitely I was used to have much more direct feedback. What is good and what should be improved, and this kind of feedback was important for me to be more efficient and align what we are able to achieve as a team. If I want to have feedback what could be improved, I want to be better to fit to the team and achieve better results as a team. I learned that you need to read feedback between the lines from the actions, not what is said. Because very important for Swedish people to have positive attitude, to have positive, that you feel comfortable, you are not stressed. And with the feedback, nobody wants to bring you to increase your stress level. Therefore, it's good that you're asking. It's good that you're coming. It's good that you are participating and trying things. We have positive feedback from outside, but if you don't have result, then you should think about what is the reason behind. Regarding decision making, in the beginning, I was appointed as a product owner for approving the change of the inside the organization, what's happening with the from the regulation point of view. And I learned that we need to have pre-discussion, discussions, and a lot of material to earn the mandate of trust. It was something for 7 months. I did intensive work with a lot of meetings, discussions, material, follow-up meetings to ensure that all questions possible are answered. And the first sign-off was difficult because psychologically a person is giving you, yeah, I'm comfortable. But when you need to sign, then person is stepping back and to think, to mature that, because it's not comfortable. But after that, when you did that first time, second and third, and the next time, each time it's much more lighter and easier because you already earned trust. That if you are asking for change or for approval, I could trust that she provided all questions and answered, and that it's covered by her responsibility. Therefore, in the beginning, it's definitely different that it's in Lithuania. We are fast in decision making, and very often we are taking a step back and to the right and step back and to the left. But during the same time, we will try different scenarios. Therefore, the difference is the decision making is different. Feedback you should read, or my advice would be, instead of asking direct, if you are didn't receive the direct answer for the first time, to read between the lines and check the actions if you are getting that approval from the action. And and definitely do not raise the conflict publicly. It's stupid. But it's stupid I would say that it's stupid overall. It's not about Swedish, not Swedish culture. When you're thinking that why you should have conflict public, it's valuable just to have pre-discussion and discuss the topics for which team what is important. What should you cover from the security perspective, from the HR perspective, from the legal perspective, and to the meeting bring already aligned position if you want to save time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anders, I see that you have raised your hand.
I think that Anders could answer that question better than me.
Yeah, but I think you're pretty spot on. When you talk about read behind the lines, and I have a similar thing. Shortly introduce myself, Anders Norin, working for Lithuanian office furniture manufacturer, responsible for the Nordic markets. So I have my team in Lithuania, and one of the things that occurred very fast to me was that the team itself had a misunderstanding, because I am, as a manager, not checking up on everything. I use the Swedish trust a lot, which means I don't check up if this is done or whatever, and I expect the team to come back to me when they run into problems or we have a situation to solve. Some of the team members, they had other managers. So all of a sudden, when I came in, they started to think that, oh, Anders is not really interested in what I'm doing. So I really had to explain to them that that is not really the topic here. The topic is that you have full responsibility. It's like driving, I give you the steering wheel and you drive. And I'm not telling you exactly to drive right or left or whatever turn you should make. And then you come back to me, and just tell me everything is done, or even leave it out and just expect that we decided and it's done. So this is also a learning that I had about Swedish corporate culture, that this constant checking up that seems that others are doing, it's not so common in Sweden, I would say.
Thank you, Anders. I think that you covered nicely regarding this example with this steering, that it's driver, that you're passing mandate of trust, and that it's maybe a little bit different. Or it's maybe people need to have a little bit more time to accept that.
Thank you so much, everyone. We are running out of time. So if I don't see any more hands up, that means we are done with today's discussions. I hope you will share your feedback on this format. Jone, I hope that we're interested if this was something you see as a valuable format to us to keep. And thank you very much for participation. Thank you very much, Nicholas, Veslava, and Agla, for sharing your examples, for this open feedback and real examples, life examples. Thanks a lot, guys. And have a nice evening, because it's almost here.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you very
Nice to
much.
Soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.